Hi, Sophia. Thank you for stopping by. So before I even say anything, yes, about the wig, I've just come home from an audition. They needed me to be in a wig, and I just could not be bothered to like take it out and change or anything. So yeah, this is my look for now, for the next few minutes as I record this video. So I am recording this video on Friday. It's about 3:30 in the afternoon, and reason why I'm recording this is just to talk about our social media influencers and how they've handled this whole always feel the comfort, I always experience issue that is going around. So yesterday on the Grace Cup Instagram, I talked about like influencers. They over the weekend they're all in Fairmont and they were all very excited about Always and posting about it and talking about it. And now all of a sudden, since everything has blown up, no one is saying anything. Like literally, no one is complaining or no one is giving compliment. No one is defending it or not. So I asked on the Instagram page, like, because I'd only noticed Janet and Bob were talking about this. So I'd asked, are there other influencers, especially in the YouTube space or Instagram space, that consider themselves influencers and have talked about this? Then I was told that Yummy Mummy actually did it on her Instagram, and I went and checked, and she actually talked at length about it, which was really great. But I'm wondering, all these other influencers, I'm not just talking about the ones who went to Nanyuki, I'm talking about all other influencers. Where are your voices? Like, most influencers in Kenya right now are female, and the topic of menstruation cannot be any more female. Like, this is what defines a woman. Menstruation, in most cases, this is what defines a woman. So if you're considering yourself an influencer, where's your voice? Why are you not talking about this issue? And when I say why you're not talking about it, I don't mean that you need to bash Always. I mean, if you feel like Always is good and you love it, then well and good, but let your voice be heard. Talk about it, defend it. But this issue of being an influencer only when it suits you, or only when there's a free trip, or only when you're getting paid, it needs to stop. Honestly, Kenyan influencers, I'm very disappointed, and you are sellouts. That's just the plain basic thing. You are all sellouts, all of you, all of the influencers that did not talk about this issue, because this thing has been trending for the past almost 1 week now, or even more than a week, and you're not talking about this. So you only talk about it when you're getting paid, or you only talk about it when you're having trips. That is wrong, and that is not good at all. Like, it reminds me of the Korean festival or something like that happened, and all influencers are talking about it and telling people to go and making videos and everything. Turns out it was a flop. Thank God I did not go. My friend Gloria went, but turns out it was a flop. It was just not a nice event at all. And of all the influencers, only Patricia Kihoro actually came out and apologized for it, because she was part of that whole brand. So because it failed, she came out and said, hey, this thing was not handled well, and I apologize, and blah, blah, blah. All the other influencers went quiet. And then it happens again with Always. So they went to Nanyuki and they did this whole PR thing. Then when it's blowing up in their faces, they're all quiet. No one is saying anything. And what really got me annoyed was, for some of those influencers Instagram, like, people were commenting and they're like, yo, don't support Always, like, we are burning, this is not a good product, stop supporting it. And some influencers were actually deleting those comments. Like, if you comment anything negative about Always on their page, they delete it. And I'm like, why? Like, if it's such a good product and you use it and you claim to use it, why don't you defend it? Why don't you make things clear? And then there were others who did not delete the comment, but they were like, yeah, you have to talk to Always. And then they tag Always Kenya there. They're like, yeah, you just go and talk to Always. And I'm like, but you've been chosen to represent them, so you're like our voice. You're like the go-between. You know, so I just feel like influencers have not really handled this whole always issue well. And someone was actually saying on my Instagram that the people who actually went to Nanyuki cannot talk about it because they have already made a stand, you know, like they're already supporting it. So they feel like if they say always is good, that people will bash them, or if they say always is bad, people will still bash them. So they feel like there's no winning ground for them. And then the people who did not go to Nanyuki, they feel like they still cannot talk about it, because if they say anything negative about it, it will seem like they're bashing other influencers, which I really don't think is the case, because someone like Yami Mami and Janet Mbogwa, they spoke about it, and I don't think that by them speaking against always, it means that they're going against other influencers who are for it. So what I'm saying basically in this video is, whether you, as an influencer, let's know your stand. So whether you went to Nanyuki, whether you did not go, whether you like it or not, let's have your stand. Let's have your voice be heard, because you have all this huge following. You have all these young, vulnerable women who follow you. And then when it comes to a topic as sensitive as menstruation, all of a sudden, quiet, nothing. I've been checking their Instagram, the YouTube, the Facebook, and all I see is just nonsense. I'm just seeing makeup and phone and clothes and shoes. I mean, all that is good, but when it comes to such an important topic as menstruation, where are you? Where are your voices? When you went to Fairmont and you're posting pictures, you are very vocal about it, and now that it's an important topic and you've now brought it to the limelight and you want to talk about it, all of a sudden you're deleting comments and you're blocking people and you don't want to talk about it anymore. Why is it that way? So Kenyan influencers, you're sellouts. All of you are sellouts, except for the few that are actually talking about this. I also saw Victoria Rubadiri was talking about it, also Shiro Moroki on Twitter. I'm not very big on Twitter, but I saw the two of them. So good for them. I mean, they're not like, I can't call them like mainstream YouTube influencers, but at least they have some form of influence. So as women, as people in influential spots, let's come out, let's call them out, let's call always out. I mean, and if your experience is different, also come out and say, hey, I love it, I've been using it, I have no problem with it. You know, we're not dictating what kind of response that you should have, but I would really love to see in the next coming days, YouTubers, Instagrammers, people on Facebook talking about it, people who consider themselves influencers. Otherwise, you've lost your integrity. As that's the word, actually, integrity. You've lost your integrity as influencers. You have lost it, because when it comes to such a strong conversation, you're not talking about it. So you'll tell us about lipsticks and places to eat, but when it comes to what we need to use, when it comes to menstruation, all of a sudden you don't want to touch it. Why? Because you think you're going to not get brands and deals later on in future. Don't be sellouts, guys. Do not be sellouts, please. Having said that, I make videos every Thursday and every Sunday, sometimes a few videos in between, like today. I would really love for you to subscribe to my channel. I usually talk about menstruation on Sundays, and then on Thursdays I just talk about everything in between. Please like this, like, comment, share, subscribe. Tell people about this. Go to those influencers that you like, that you follow, go to their pages, tell them you need to start talking about this. Why are you not talking? Why are you quiet at this time when you really need to hear your voices? I will see you next week, and goodbye.